What do you think the power of allowing the pain in of grief is going to be for you? There's power in grieving, my friends. There's power. We don't have to be afraid of it. We don't have to stay away from it. I promise you there's power in the pain. Grief is such a complex journey, and it's different for each and every one of us. And we all will experience it differently. But the one thing that we do that's the same is we resist it. We resist it because we're uncomfortable with it. We're uncomfortable with it. It's not familiar. We've never had to do this. And because it feels really bad, right? So grief is an emotional experience that takes place in our heart. Our heart has a ton of emotions. It has happy, it has joyous, it has delight. So we have all of these emotions, right? But we would rather go there than feel sadness, isolation, anger, depression. Who wants to feel that? Nobody wants to feel that. But that's what the part of the grieving experience is. There's power in allowing the pain of grief and brokenness in, acknowledging that this is going to be an emotional experience that's going to be painful, and allowing it in is part of the process. If I can get you to that part to understand it, it is going to help you so much. In our culture, we often feel pressure, or we suppress the pain, and we put on a brave face. You guys have heard me say this before, but we could win an Academy Award for the way that we react. People walk in and they're like, "Oh my gosh, how are you doing? I just heard about Bob." Well, we're fine. We're doing fine. Fine. Feelings inside never expressed. That's what fine means. It is the biggest lie that we tell people. It's essential that we find places where grief can be as bad as it needs to be, and that we allow the suck in as much as we do. The pain needs space to be acknowledged and felt. We've got to get in there and feel this pain as often as we can, as often as our body will allow us. We've got to allow the pain in. Here's what happens when you allow the pain in. You allow in a little bit of the pain, and it is as if a little bit of steam has been blown off. It blows off a little bit of the energy, and it gives you relief for that time, gives you relief for that moment. You're giving relief from the pain. So there's going to be levels and depths to this pain that we're going to allow in. In the beginning, we've got a lot of numbness going on, so we don't feel the depths of the pain. I remember thinking, man, I think I can do this. I think this is not going to be that bad after my dad died. I think I can do this, because Austin had already died. I'd been through Austin. My aunt had already passed away, and I'd been through that. And I thought, I think I can do this. But I'm going to tell you, there were some times that pain came in, and I was like, what are you doing? Who are you fooling? The pain of loss can be overwhelming, and it's natural to want to avoid it and bury these emotions deep down inside and not share them with anybody and not talk about it. However, resisting your pain and denying your pain can hinder the healing process. Let me repeat that. However, resisting your pain and denying your pain can hinder your healing process and prolong it. Who wants this to last longer? If you're somebody who wants this to last longer, raise your hand. Finding places that you can let in this intense grief pain and really get that ugly cry out and give yourself permission to go there and confront the depths of this pain and emotions is going to be the victory to getting through this. We have to cry it out. We have to. And when I'm saying crying, I don't mean always tears don't always come with that, but just that longing for them, that feeling. You're driving in the car, all you're doing is thinking about moments in the past, things that you guys experienced, things that you did, and there's this like heaviness on you. Allowing yourself to fully feel this pain can be so frightening. But it is brave for you, my friend, and it is necessary for you. Take a step towards the healing. When you pick up the phone and you call me, that's you taking a step towards it. When you join that support group, that's you taking a step towards it. Embrace your emotions and embrace your grief with compassion for yourself. You give compassion to other people every single day. Allow yourself compassion to feel this and knowing that it's okay to feel it deeply. Give yourself the compassion. Create a safe space for you to grieve. Remember, the title of this is There's Power in Allowing the Pain In. Part of that is creating a safe space to grieve. Finding places where you can express your grief without judgment, where no one's going to be critical, where you can do the ugly cry and nobody's going to be judging you, where you can let the snot run down your nose and it doesn't matter whether you wipe it away or not. Who gives a shit about that? Just go there and do it. And go there and do it as often as you can. As often as you can to get that release. You need to get the release so that you can continue on this healing journey. It is not what you need, the victory in healing, but it is the victory in grieving. It is the victory in grieving. Go to the quiet corner, your grieving corner. Go to that quiet corner in your home. Go to a support group and say it out loud. Call a close friend who you know will listen to you and have a talk with her. Share it with her. Be willing to listen without trying to fix it. Go to the friend who's not going to try to fix this for you. Be vulnerable and be authentic. This is huge. You've got to be vulnerable. Be vulnerable means I'm going to allow this pain in. Being vulnerable means I'm going to allow this pain to be in. Be authentic with your pain. Be the witness and acknowledge what is going on with you. I'm sorry, guys. Somebody just walked in my office. Be the witness of what is going to happen to you. Pick, and when you find your grieving corner and you have your grieving space all set up, make sure you have the things in your grieving space that you need to grieve. Giving yourself space in these environments and creating room to validate your healing, it helps you to process your emotions and prevents them from being suppressed or lasting longer or festering inside. Or you just let it fester inside and you let it out on the most unexpected person, right? There is transformative power in allowing the pain, processing the pain all the way through. We know that if you allow one emotion in, like let's say sadness, from beginning to end, it only takes a minute from the start of the sadness to the end of the sadness to be released throughout of your body. Do you know that most of us can't hold on to that emotion for even a minute? Our brain starts to click in thoughts and ideas and memories and get us away from the sadness because our brain has a mission and it has a job. And its job is to get us away from danger. And it perceives this grief as danger. It may seem that allowing your pain without resisting it is something that you can't do. However, if you tell yourself, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, I'm going to sit here and sit in this pain for 5 minutes, I promise you the overwhelming force that you've been feeling will feel less. It will be as if you blew off some of the pain. When you embrace your pain with openness, you take control of this grief instead of allowing it to totally take control of you. You are now in the driver's seat. You're allowing the pain to exist within you. You know what you're doing. You understand the impact that it has on your life and on your grieving process. And it enables you to find healthier ways of coping, finding healthier ways. Accepting and allowing your pain doesn't mean that you're surrendering to it forever. It means you're giving yourself permission to heal. You've got to give yourself permission to heal. And I promise you, you won't be like this for the rest of your life. There will be moments that linger on. There will be things that linger on. But for each and every one of us, those things are different. You won't be this griever that you are today 1 year from now if you allow the pain in. Remember, healing is not a straight line. and it is not the same for everyone. And so you've got to find the path that's right for you. You've got to find your grief space. You've got to find what it means and how much you can allow in at any given day. What's your coping mechanism for this? What are you using to cope with this? Okay, friends, giving your grief space is a powerful act of compassion for yourself. It's self-compassion. It's allowing yourself to find those places where the pain can exist without judgment, without suppression. Embrace this grief. It is a sign of your love. It is a sign of your love for him. It can also be a sign of your hate. We can grieve someone we absolutely hate. And so I don't want to leave that out. You can also feel like the imposter sometimes when you're not allowing the grief. You can feel like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't go there. After all, I didn't know him very well. Friends, I grieved Princess Diana, and I never saw her and I never met her. And I just allowed it in and I allowed it to be there. Acknowledge your pain is here to serve a purpose. Acknowledge that it's here to serve a purpose. Friends, my name is Sharon Brubaker and I'm a grief specialist. And I'm the proud owner of the Grief School. And I have created a teaching educational program on grief and loss due out of my own loss and finding that there were no resources there. I have a program that I teach called Forever Change because we will never going back to being the person we were the day before our loss occurred. And I would be honored to sit with you and talk with you about my program Forever Changed. In my show notes is the link, my link tree. Please open that link tree. In there, you're going to find two gifts, two ebooks that I wrote, one called The Griever's Guide and one called Surviving the Holidays. Please download those and take a look at them. They're great resources for you. But more importantly than that, there is a button there that says set an appointment with Sharon. And I'd be honored to sit with you and talk about whether this program is the right one for you. I have traveled this journey as a griever for the past 17 years, and I'd be honored to travel it with you, my friend. Have a great day. Bye.